Whether it's a nightly fiesta amidst the architectural and artistic wonders in one of its spirited cities, or a lingering beachside feast along its sun-drenched coast, one thing is certain: a visit to Spain is one you won't soon forget. Although, depending on your tolerance, things might get a tiny bit fuzzy. See, Spaniards are all-day drinkers, but they've got their pace down to a science. And the last thing you want is for a killer resaca to take you out of the race. So, let's take a trip to the Madre Patria to find out what's being served up in all of those bars. This is How Spaniards Drink. The land of bars has a nice ring to it, right? With almost 185,000 drinking establishments in Spain, alcohol consumption isn't just socially acceptable, it's a way of life that starts when you first wake up and goes right on through the night. In fact, Spain's health ministry recommends that men drink no more than 4 standard alcoholic drinks a day, and women no more than 2. Compare that with France, where the recommendation is no more than 2 drinks per day for both men and women, and the US, which only greenlights 1 drink per day for women. The 46,182,000 people who live in Spain drink an average of 11.2 liters of alcohol a year per person, which is twice the global average. As far as adult beverages go, beer is by far their favorite tipple. It's drunk by 50% of the population. That's followed by spirits, which is consumed by 28% of the population, and then wine, which clocks in at 20%. And let's not kid ourselves, a fair amount of that goes to support your friendly neighborhood sangria pitcher. In Spain, all they do is gin, gin, gin no matter what. Okay, while beer is truly the way to a Spaniard's heart, when it comes to spirits, gin is their beverage of choice. In fact, Spain is the world's biggest gin consumer per capita, and they're quite serious about how they take their gin tonics. That's right, in Spain, they drop the "and," it's just a gin tonic. And the Spanish have a special way of serving it up. The tall Collins glass is replaced by a large balloon glass that's filled with quality tonic, some herbs, flowers, spices or fruit, and of course, some amazing gin. In fact, many of the bars around Spain go to great lengths to source rare and high-end brands from around the world. You'll find upwards of 50 different varieties at some spots. How did this deceivingly simple concoction rise to the top of Spain's cocktail list? Well, it all started with Spanish chefs who relied on the combo to unwind after a day in the kitchen. In fact, it was rumored that gin tonics were the de facto drink behind the scenes at El Bulli, the legendary 3 Michelin star restaurant in Spain. From there, it took off, with gin bars spreading like wildfire across Madrid and Barcelona, before taking over the spirit scene in the Basque Country, Asturias, and Galicia. Now, past the tonic. When it comes to interesting local spirits, Pacharan is the way to go. While the name looks like it was ripped straight out of a pharmaceutical company's R&D lab, it is really an OG liqueur that dates back to the Middle Ages, where it was used to relieve an upset stomach, prevent atherosclerosis and strokes, and calm the nerves. So maybe the pharmaceutical thing isn't too far off. This storied liqueur, which comes from the Navarre region of Spain, is made by soaking slow fruits with cinnamon and coffee beans in anisette. The whole process produces a light and sweet reddish-brown liqueur that clocks in anywhere between 25 to 30% ABV. Now, even though it has a long history in Spain, it wasn't really until the 19th century that it was made the traditional after-dinner drink at both restaurants and private homes alike. It's traditionally served chilled or on ice as a digestive. And don't worry, it tastes way better than the name implies. Here's a word of advice for you. When you're out drinking with a Spaniard, remember this: it's a marathon, not a race. So before you head out for a night of drinking in Spain, take a good hard look around and find your stamina. You're going to need it. In fact, cutting out at 3 a.m. to go home is poor form and will definitely put you on the receiving end of some sharp but pretty hilarious barbs about your staying power. Lucky for you, food is a huge part of the drinking customs and culture in Spain. Most drinks are served with some sort of tapa, usually olives or patatas bravas. And dinner doesn't start until 10:30 p.m. at most places, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to pad your stomach for the long night ahead. Now that you've been schooled on gin bars, learn that Pacharan isn't the next gen Xanax, and properly trained yourself for a marathon day of drinking. You're ready to hit the streets of Spain. As the Spaniards say,
arriba, abajo, al centro y pa' dentro.